So life compares to a road because life is like a mountain and you never stop climbing that mountain. The thing is that there's so many bumps and twists and turns, and it's just like life is not one straight path that's just going to be perfect. It's going to be hard. But the thing is that the people you meet in life, they make up for it because they shape who you are.
It's mostly smooth with a few bumps in it.
It's bumpy, it's beautiful along the way, and there's always someone at the end that helps you get through it.
Sometimes the road is dark and rainy, and people make it seem like it's bad, and don't go outside because you'll catch a cold or that kind of thing. But I mean, it's not what it seems like. It's not a bad thing, and not always a problem to just walk in the rain. The life isn't the rain, it's the being in the rain. It's fine to just be there, especially if you have a light, which is a metaphor for God.
I would say my road is like a beautiful country road that is mostly straight, and once in a while there's some potholes there when there's little hard times in my life or obstacles, and then there might be some curves or little knolls that I have to get over, whether it's dealing with stress with school and having the pressure to get all A's, or whether it's family issues that are going on, or someone that I love that died. But other than that, my road is pretty straight, and I'm very fortunate for that, and I have friends that influence my relationship with God in a very good way, and a family that does the same thing. So I am very blessed by God to have that. So I started going to a youth camp over the summer with my friends. We worship in the chapel every evening and afternoon, and it's like really powerful when everyone is like standing up with their hands in the air, like praising God, and some people just like get on their knees and start crying because they just feel the presence of God. Afterwards, we go pray in our cabins with our youth leader, and that's what we did. And me and my group of friends and our cabin leader, we each were prayed for by her, and she prayed for, she just listened to God, and then she prayed for my self-esteem and beauty, because that's what God was telling her to pray about. The next day, when the speaker was preaching, he just randomly started like talking about beauty, and then started pointing at girls and saying, "You're beautiful, you're beautiful." And then he skipped like 10 girls and then just like stared at me for like 10 seconds, and then just like pointed his finger and was like, "You are beautiful, don't ever doubt it." And then he just kept on talking.
So I've seen the face of God just in everyday life, like from the moment I wake up to the time I go to sleep. The face of God is really everywhere. It's not just, it's special, but it's not just something that only will happen once. It happens every single day. And it may not be in your life every single day, but it happens in someone else's life. So every moment, every second of every day, the face of God is seen through someone in the world. So I feel as though that when I've seen the face of God is just by going to school and just like hanging out with friends, because I think that's a great blessing, is just to have awesome people around you that make you feel really good and like help you accomplish your goals and encourage you to accomplish those goals. So I feel like when I see the face of God through my friends, because they just support me through everything and they're just awesome. Yeah.
I'm kind of an introvert, and I don't necessarily get a lot out of being with other people sometimes. Do things better by myself a lot, but when I was little, I remember when Jesse was busy or I didn't have anybody with me, I was kind of bored, like I didn't have anything to do. Last year, there's a girl that I met. I don't even remember how I ended up talking to her, but she was really, open to being friends right away. She taught me to play this card game, which is really popular at school. And she introduced me to a lot of other people that are now my best friends, who I see every day. She kind of just disappeared at some point. I guess she moved or something. It wasn't really clear at the time where she went, and so I didn't really think about it until after she left. But she did so much for me that I really appreciated that I got all those other friends that I could hang out with.
So one day, I was having a bad day, and so I went outside to go to a quiet place to think, and it was raining outside, so I walked to where there was a spot with long grass, and I sat down and started crying, and was like, God, why don't you ever answer me? You don't seem like you're there all the time. But I can't give up because I know you're there. There's proof that you're there. So I started crying and started singing, I'm a God girl, that's who I'll be. And then the sun comes, the rain stops, and the wind blows. And then I felt God's presence, and I just kept singing and laughing and stopped crying, and yeah.
I've seen the face of God in two ways. One was when my great-grandpa had a stroke, and he couldn't talk. But he said to my great-grandma, sweetheart, wife, thank you. When one of my friends died in a car crash in 4th grade, I was having a really hard time coping with it, and my mom had prayed to show that he was okay. That night, I saw his star.